Here are the topics that will be covered in the President's revision video. This video will focus on the role of the Cabinet. The Cabinet is an advisory group selected by the President to aid him in making decisions and coordinating the work of the federal government. The traditional members are the heads of the executive departments. Originally there was only 3, State, War and Treasury. Now there are 15. The President can make more or less at their discretion. The Cabinet is not mentioned in the Constitution explicitly. The Founding Fathers created a singular executive, but it does state that the President may require the opinion in writing of the principal officer in each executive department upon any subject relating to the duties of their respective officers. 1989, President Washington thought it would be helpful to have a meeting with the Secretaries of the War, the Treasury and the State. The press called them cabinet meetings. Every president since then has had a cabinet and has held cabinet meetings. It is also important to differentiate between the cabinet as individuals and the cabinet as a group. Failure to see these two different uses of the term can lead to misunderstandings. The answer to the question, was President Obama's cabinet important, is impossible to answer until we have established in which sense the term is being used. As individuals, cabinet members were important. Some, like Secretary of State Hillary Clinton and Treasury Secretary Timothy Geithner, were very important. On the other hand, cabinet meetings were hardly ever held, so as a group the cabinet was unimportant. A new president needs to recruit a completely new cabinet. Remember, in a separated system, members of the legislative cannot at the same time serve in the executive. There is also no shadow cabinet waiting to take office. This means the President must cast his net further to find candidates for his cabinet. There are 4 major pools of recruitment. Congress. The President may recruit from Congress, but asking serving members of Congress to give up their seats to join the cabinet, where both prestige and job security are often in short supply, is quite a hard sell. It is therefore more likely that a President will try to recruit retiring or former members of Congress. Donald Trump persuaded 3 incumbent members of Congress, Senator Jeff Sessions and Representatives Tom Price and Ryan Zink. Serving or former state governors are also a nice candidate. This is another pool of cabinet recruitment, and as such, people have executive experience. They are usually much better suited to running a large federal bureaucracy than are former legislators. 2 former governors joined Trump in 2017, Sonny Perdue of Georgia as Secretary of Agriculture and Rick Perry of Texas as Secretary of Energy. Big city mayors bring experience. Obama's second-term cabinet included 2 former mayors, Anthony Fox of Charlotte, North Carolina as Secretary of Transportation, and Julian Castro of San Antonio, Texas as Secretary of Housing and Urban Development. Academia. America's top universities are another pool of recruitment for the President's cabinet. Stephen Chu, appointed by President Obama, was Secretary of Energy in 2009 and was a professor of physics at the University of California. When he departed in 2013, another physics professor replaced him. What the President is looking for in a cabinet is policy specialists. All cabinet appointments are subject to confirmation by a simple majority vote in the Senate. It is highly unusual for the Senate to reject the President's nominee. What other factors do the Presidents consider when appointing their cabinet? The Presidents are keen to consider the overall balance and appearance of their cabinet. Bill Clinton wanted his cabinet to look like America. It is believed that the electoral assess what a diverse cabinet is. Presidents therefore have often considered gender, race, age and political ideology when picking their cabinet. However, Trump's cabinet was the richest cabinet ever, and it was also dominated by white males. As you can see here in the pictures below, you can see Trump's cabinet versus Obama's cabinet. The diversity in Obama's cabinet is far greater than that seen in Trump's. Cabinet meetings can potentially perform several functions from the President's perspective. Here are the functions of a cabinet. The ability of cabinet meetings to engender team spirit is especially important at the beginning of an administration. Cabinet meetings can help to weld them onto his team and to move forward with his agenda. Once this has been achieved, probably within the first year, this function ceases. This is partly to explain why cabinet meetings decline in the number from the point in most administrations. Congeniality is important for presidents. It is important for presidents to appear congenial and consultative, especially since President Nixon. The Nixon administration was notorious for its lack of openness. Cabinet meetings are a media photo opportunity, and it sends a message of reassuring signals that the president is running an open administration. Exchanging information. Cabinet meetings provide opportunities for both information giving and gathering. Cabinet meetings can be an efficient method by which the president keeps in touch with what is going on in the fast federal bureaucracy. There is also policy debate and presenting big picture debate. This is where the president can outline his ideas for legislation. It's also a way of monitoring Congress, prompting action, and just maintaining personal contact with your members of the executive branch. Before I go through whether the President's Cabinet is important or not, pause the video here and fill out your own table. Let's look at reasons why the President's Cabinet is important. It contains some of the most important people in the executive branch, for example, the Secretary of State or Secretary of Defense. All heads of the 15 executive departments are automatically members. The President also always chairs the meetings. The Cabinet meetings can fulfill a number of important functions, both for the President and for Cabinet officers. Some presidents hold frequent meetings, such as Reagan. Let's look at reasons why the Cabinet is not important then. Article 2 of the Constitution vests executive power in the President. There is no doctrine of collective responsibility. The members are neither the President's equals nor his political rivals. The President often views members of his cabinet with some suspicion because of their divided loyalties, and the executive office of the President is the main source of advice giving for the President.